Well, Malaysia's central bank is first in a decade, but still the Malaysian...
Hello and Assalamualaikum. We from group number 7 with title Inflation in Malaysia. I will introduce our members, which is Nur Atasha Mawaddah binti Ahmad with the number matric 287289. Number 2, Yibzation with the number matric 289801. Number 3, Fatin Alia binti Muhammad Fauzi with the number matric 288724. And number 4, Rutra Devi with the number matric 291433. Number 5, Nur Ain binti Aziz with the number matric 288902. And number 6, Nur Emilia Shafika binti Zaiful with the number matric 288678.
What is inflation? Inflation is a process of a continuously rising prices or equivalently of a continuously falling value of money. Money is a means of exchange, a store of value, and a unit of account. Money's role as a unit of account stems from its use as a means of exchange. And the last one is inflation. It's fundamentally a monetary phenomenon and can be produced only by a more rapid increase in the quantity of money than in output.
Based on the infographic that posted by Department of Statistics Malaysia, it can be seen that there are 12 baskets of goods and services such as food and non-alcoholic beverage, alcoholic beverage and tobacco, clothing and footwear, housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels, furnishings, household equipment and routine household maintenance, health, transport, communication, recreation services and culture, education, restaurants and hotels, and lastly, the miscellaneous goods and services. In November 2021, 6 of them recorded an increase, 3 registered decreases, and 3 remain unchanged. Malaysia's inflation in November 2022 increased 4% as compared to the same month of the previous year, which is October 2022. The inflation for the period of January to November 2022 increased 3.4% as compared to 2.3% for the same period in 2021. On a monthly basis, the inflation in November 2022 recorded 0.3% as compared to 0.2% in October 2022.
I will present about factor inflation in Malaysia. Firstly, demand. Book inflation arises when the total demand for goods and services, which is aggregate demand, increases to exceed the supply of goods and services, which is aggregate supply, that can be sustainable produce. Number 2, cost push inflation occurs when the total supply of goods and services in the economy which can be produced falls. A fall in aggregate supply is often caused by an increases in the cost of production. Number 3, exchange rate movement can also affect prices and influence inflation outcomes. A decrease in the value of the domestic currency. Number 4, inflation expectations are the beliefs that households and firms have about future price increases.
Impact of inflation. First, cost of living will be severely affected. Second, the prices of goods and services rising immediately. Third, decrease the real value of money. And the last, decrease purchasing power among consumers.
I would like to present about ways to prevent inflation. There are 3 ways to prevent inflation. The first one is introducing monetary policy. The government should raise the interest rates. For example, Bank Negara Malaysia have increased the OPR rate to 2.79% recently. The second one is applying fiscal policy. The government should increase the taxes. For example, increase the income tax and the service taxes. The last one is promote work savings and investment. increase labor supply, capital supply, productivity, and personal savings. These are the ways to prevent inflations.
Okay, Miss, I'm gonna ask you two questions. What you understand about inflation, and the second one is what are the causes of inflation?
Okay, for the first question, I think inflation is caused by when the price rises. And the question for the cause, maybe the causes are first when the supply is not enough, so the price will rise, and then maybe because the cost of making the goods increase, so the price will increase too. I think that's
Okay, similar with the previous interview, I'm gonna ask you two questions. The first one is, do you think inflation burden people? And the second one, do you agree if government raise the tax rate?
For the first question, I think it will, but it depends on the group people. Like if you are from a group of P40, it will give you a direct impact, but it will not feel much to B2T people. And for the second question, I think yes or no. Yes, because it will increase the government income, nation income, and no, because it will also add an extra burden to the people on that nation. I think that's it.
The world is currently experiencing inflation, which is especially bad in our country. Inflation is the process of continuously rising prices or continuously falling value of money. 4.0% inflation was recorded in Malaysia in November 2022. The government has aware as the populace has been harmed by this inflation in their effort to progress the Malaysian economy. Inflation will raise people living expenses, have a negative impact on their welfare and the value the nation currency, which will impair the nation balance of payment. This is a result of several factors including demand food inflation, cost food inflation, imported inflation, exchange rate and inflation expectation. To lower the rate of inflation in Malaysia, the government has implemented several policies including monetary policy, program to encourage employment, saving and investing, and also fiscal policy.